It's been a while since I've done a My Experience video, and what better time and way to do that than with a game like Warframe, a game that I've had a very interesting past relationship with leading up to my current playtime of the game. Because let's just say it's been a very rocky road to get to this point, and I am not exaggerating in when I say that it has been literally a decade-long game. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my road to Warframe and what finally got me to stick around and play. And I'll be breaking this video down into two sections. The first section I like to call the cycle, which is going to be the period of what made me come back to the game on and off. And then the second part of this video is going to be what finally made me stay. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, what started my Warframe journey, we're going to take a trip back to January 7th of 2014. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't remember creating a Warframe account around this time. Like, I honestly have no memories as to what made me want to do this. The only thing I can think of was it was a free game at the time and I was experimenting different games. I don't know, I have no memory of this. I just know that based on my PlayStation account logging into the Warframe mobile app, this date popped up. And that's all I can really say, because the journey really starts, I think, we go back to 2018. More specifically, according to my PlayStation trophy history, January 20th of 2018 at around 2 o'clock. So this was around the time when I was wrapping up high school, or as in my last semester of high school. And I do have some memory of it. And you're going to see a common theme here, so bear with me. When I was playing Warframe in 2018, I didn't get too far in it because at the time there was a lot, and I mean a lot of content being thrown my way, and I had no idea what I was doing. And this was before the new player onboarding experience for Warframe was a bit more inviting and less overwhelming. And naturally, over time, I think I just walked away from the game and I went back to something else to play. This wasn't really Destiny at the time. See, Destiny 2, in my experience starting to play it, was later that year. But for now, looter shooters like that weren't really my thing. At the time, I still hated Destiny 1 because of all the models and stuff that they were doing. So this is pre my love appreciation for Destiny and the looter shooter it was, and my pre-experience in playing Destiny 2. Now, according to my Steam achievement history, it seems like I still was playing this game more so on PC than console, since I did have a PC at the time. And it seems like from March to April 1st of 2018, I was still achieving some trophies, and then that was it. That was basically my experience of playing Warframe, and again, as I said earlier, it was most likely because of the sheer overwhelming amount of content the game had. I just didn't feel completely committed to playing it. So that's where the tale ends in 2018. And then we cut to, again, being back on PC. It seems like I returned to the game in November of 2021. And this time, I think, again, it was the same pattern. I hopped on, did a couple things, enjoyed it, but then eventually there was just too much content, so I backpedaled away and did something else. Now, during this time, however, this was after I had played Destiny 2 and was sort of still hooked in on that, because around 2021, there was still a sort of part of me still actively playing Destiny 2. And even Destiny 1 more so, because around 2019 is when I would get a copy of Destiny 1 with all the DLC, the Destiny Collection, and experience Destiny 1 and sort of take back my opinions I had at the time of Destiny 1. So hopefully that kind of clarifies and sets the sort of mindset I had at the time, is that now I had been exposed to two looter shooter games, and my mind was going back and forth, because ultimately what made me decide Destiny 2 at the time was because Destiny, for all its faults even at the time, the new player experience was a lot easier to get into, but it also came into the fact that I had experienced Destiny 2 during Forsaken, and I had clearly already been in the boat and on board with a lot of things. So for me, at the time, it seemed like Destiny 2 was a no-brainer to play, despite all the issues it was starting to sort of create and rise above the surface. But overall, that was another period I had tried Warframe. There might have been some other times I did, but I'm only going off of my achievement history on both PC and PlayStation, because it's all I can really have in terms of concrete evidence. There might have been times in between this period where I came back to Warframe, tried out some content, and then left again. It just was a back and forth cycle that kept going. And this cycle would again continue in December 26th of 2024, but again, it would dial right back to me sort of not playing the game as often. But there was something starting to click, because this I do have clear memories of experiencing and playing. Because you see, in January of this year, this is around the time where I was really starting to sink my teeth into this game. Because around this time, I was at my previous job. And during that sort of time period, I was basically sent out to the other side of the state of South Dakota to help run a store out there. And I had brought my laptop with me because it was a week-long endeavor of helping run that store and learning the job at the time. But I was playing Warframe on that laptop and enjoying and experiencing the content, because I had played this, as well as during Christmas, played this game at my cousin's house. So I was still sort of diving back into Warframe and giving it, another chance. Because I believe at the time, word was getting out about how bad Destiny 2 was getting, so I decided to hop on and play that. Because Destiny 2, I had played a little bit a couple months before in the middle of summer, but it was just a weird revisit. I didn't really get too in-depth with it, but I enjoyed the time I had with it because of all the free DLC I got on PlayStation. But right back to Warframe, this was around the time things were starting to click a bit. But then I lost my job, and I still continued to play the game and get trophies there. But then it turned into an on and off period of playing it, but a lot more consistently, as in, I did take some time away, but it was not as long as the time before. Until finally, about a month and a half to 2 months ago, I finally can safely say Warframe got its hook on me, and now I find myself enjoying and playing it. After finally going through the overwhelming amount of content and figuring out, I can safely say that I'm no longer feeling that large, overwhelming sensation sweeping over me and preventing me from getting into Warframe. Because that is still there, it's just not as strong to push me away like I had done before. Now, before I get into the next part of this video, if you've been enjoying the content so far, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. Also, check out my Rumble. It's a nice sort of backup I have just in case anything might happen on YouTube. Also, check out my live streams that I have every Saturday at around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come join me as I continue my journey through Warframe and get more of the content done to be caught up with everybody else. But anyway, moving back to the video now, which leads me into the second part of this video of what made me finally stay. In that, it was really two things: the current state of the gaming industry and the live service model, and slowly etching my way into the game and not being as overwhelmed by the amount of content that Warframe had. Honestly, when it comes to the first points, I've seen, as I've said before in my previous videos, so much garbage in this industry that it's made me very nihilistic to the industry, and that there was going to be any hope or change for it, even in the live service department. And to see a game like Warframe do so well with the live service model and actually it be positive for as long as it has been was definitely a large factor in me wanting to stick around more and more, because I had always heard how good Warframe was to its communities, but the thing is that it was just so overwhelming to get in because there was just so much to do and it wasn't figured out. Now it's much better, and I'm very glad that it's the case, but a lot of that, me leaving the game, was because of just how overwhelming and hard it was just to get in. And I am glad that Digital Extremes is trying to make a push to make it a lot easier for new players, because this is the perfect time to get in and get people that are trying to get away from Destiny and are disgruntled with how Destiny's been treating its player base. I think this is the perfect time for them to be able to do it, and I'm glad they're taking strides to do something about it. Because it wasn't until brute forcing my way through and spending over those period of years just slowly getting through the content and just getting through it, that this would eventually get me to finally enjoy the game, if we're not to be as overwhelming when approaching it. And I did have some help. Also, I did play with people on and off using some Discord communities, as well as I have a coworker I play with on and off here and there. So that definitely was a helping factor in getting me to play this game. And I'm very glad at how things played out, because not only has it been a great gaming experience for a nihilistic and potentially cynical and realist like me, it's also been good for this channel, because I think, based on what I've seen and what I continue to see, It seems like the YouTube algorithm really has thrown me into the Warframe category, and I'm honestly very blessed for that, because not only is this helping my sort of YouTube career and channel being pushed forward, but I'm able to experience and play a game that actually has a successful live service model and is actually worth my time. So, I think that's all I can really say when it comes to my experience with Warframe, just sort of as a simple on and off cycle, which finally led me to being committed to the game and continue to play it. So it does give me some inspiration to maybe do something similar to both Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 again, but time will tell. I think there is a lot more to say about when it comes to my experience with Destiny 1, so that could be a future video idea. But anyway, I'll see you guys with another video. Y'all take care and have a good rest of your day.